Or like self-driven, like coffee shops or like.
About to go catch up with Ian Reuter, the man legend behind Silver and Light. So let's see what he's been up to the last year and a half. What's up?
Hey.
So Ian, it's been a little while since we've seen you. It's been what, probably like a year and a half since you're up in Boise. What's been going on? I mean, wanted to catch up with you.
Yeah, a lot has happened since I was in Idaho. Let's see, what did we do? We went to Seattle, Vancouver, New Mexico, Mammoth. Yeah, we've done a lot, actually. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it takes us months to plan for one trip, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For the people that maybe didn't get a chance to see the episode, I mean, kind of give them a brief overview of the project that you're working on as of right now.
Yeah, okay, so the project I'm working on is called Silver and Light, and it's a project where we use a 19th century photographic process called wet plate collodion, and we make plates using that process. It's really hard to explain. I mean, we could sit here for an hour and talk about it, but basically I took a giant van and made it into a camera, and we integrated that process into it.
I'm so far down the path that I can't go back even if I wanted to. Life grants us a series of opportunities, and those opportunities come with a price. I can't stop. I've backed myself into a corner. There isn't a backup plan. You know, you're playing poker and you go all in, you're all in, and we're just waiting to see how the cards unfold. I'm standing there in the dark, and I open the lens and the room slowly fills with light. I see the most beautiful image appear right before me. It's hard to imagine I'm standing in the middle of a giant camera. When I started in photography, I was using my hands to create images, and it seemed like overnight digital came, and all of that came to an end. I didn't know it at the time, but I lost something I loved. In the absence of that feeling, it sent me on a tremendous journey. It took me back to the beginning of photography. I just got tired of it, you know? It's like everyone around me had the same cameras, they all have the same signature. I was like, I'm gonna go out and build a camera that no one has. This project isn't about making actual images. It's not about creating the world's largest camera. It's about doing what you love. If you had been searching your whole life for something you love, and you found it, what would you be willing to sacrifice?
It started out that I just wanted to make these giant plates, and after we filmed our first video, Silver and Light, I actually realized that we want to do more with it. We want to integrate moving images and motion into it, and we started traveling through America, and we wanted to document the people and the places we see and add them to the photos as an additional layer. So like when I would always see these old photos from like Richard Avedon and these people, and I'd always want to know more about the person. And now, since we're living in these times and we have access to all this equipment and video, and it's easier to use, that I wanted to film them and tell their stories through the films that we create, as well as capture their images.
So when you are trying to like get to know these people and finding your subjects, how are you find those people, and like who makes the cut, who doesn't make the cut, and how do you find those people?
Well, most the people we usually find a lot of the people through the internet, but how we narrow it down is it usually has the people that we work with, their stories usually correlate with the things that we've went through or experienced, or my life experiences or childhood things, and they actually help tell our story. So we're using other people to tell our story and to tell a bigger story about how we're all connected as human beings. We want to do a full-length documentary about America, and in the meantime we release these shorter pieces, vignettes basically, of the places we've been, and shorter interviews of the people we've worked with. But yeah, the bigger goal would be a full documentary. It's more about the people and the stories, and it's interesting because the locations also dictate what the people are like and who they are. So we went to New Mexico, that land's so rugged and rough, and it really has that cowboy spirit that those people, that's who they are, and that's part of it. So just by traveling around and going to different places in urban areas, then we get that different vibe and the different feelings. So it just kind of works out like that.
Do you think that your mindset has changed at all, or do you think that there's like something that is different than what you thought it was going to be?
No, I actually think it's the same. It's just opened up more doors and more possibilities, and then, you know, in your mind you want to do bigger and better things. And I mean, we haven't even left the West Coast. We want to get out to Louisiana and Detroit especially, and the East Coast, and, you know, all the way, maybe even photograph the president. That's one of our goals. So
to photograph the president?
Yeah.
Wow. Have you guys like tried contacting it all yet, or
no,
is that
not yet, but in time.
Yeah.
We definitely we want to work on that. So our project is about America.
I think a lot of people are still kind of curious as to, I mean, is this the only thing you do? Is this just a passion project that...
I mean, it started out as a passion project, and now it's, after 3 years, it's actually starting to have a little bit of a return in this. But in those 3 years, it was definitely the scariest time of my life. I mean, honestly, I was like, I could lose my house, everything that I've worked for in the past 15 years on this one wild idea. So I lost a lot of sleep. And if you really love photography and you love it, then you can't really fail. You might fail financially or maybe emotionally, but if you just want to do photography and you want to make pictures, then I'd say just do what's in your heart and do that. And the rest will follow, and it'll work itself out one way or the other, but at the end of the day, you'll still be doing what you love.
So as far as the crew, I mean, you picked up a new guy since we saw you in Boise, and it actually happened on that same trip.
Yeah,
what's it like to have Will on the board now?
It's really good having Will, and it was interesting how it worked out because I did meet him on the frame shoot that I did with you guys in Idaho, and we stayed in contact, and he really wanted to work on this. So, you know, as time went by, we said, come on, let's come out here and work with us, and he's been with us ever since, and it's been really good.
What up, Will?
What up, guys?
What's going on?
Just hanging out, South Lake Tahoe. Ran into the framed homies. It's pretty crazy because if I didn't show up to your video shoot in Idaho, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, that's right, dude.
I know.
Yeah, tell me what happened. Like, tell me the story.
Okay, so I was living in Boise, Idaho. Went to the Nampa airport with everybody, and it was pretty apparent I was the only person not working. And was kind of like hanging out with my film camera, checking out Ian Reuter's stuff, and it was funny. I tried to sit next to him at lunch, and he all moved away from me and then made fun of me and stuff. And then at the end of the shoot, I got his phone number, and I was like, yo, let me help you out or whatever, show you around Idaho. And then halfway through the trip, showed him around, made my first wet plate with him, and then now I work for him full time.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
It's pretty nuts. Super nuts.
What kind of stuff does he bring to the table? What kind of stuff does he do for you within the project?
He does a lot of stuff. I have him, I'm just pretty much in charge of the whole truck and all the chemistry and all the prep and all the post-production of the plates. So we have to build plate boxes and mix stuff and order stuff and just make sure everything's all together, and that's what he's been in charge of. And he's been doing pretty good.
I've always just like believed in taking chances and seeing like where those chances can take you, because that's how I ended up moving to Boise. It was like on a chance. I was working in a tattoo shop, thought I was gonna be a tattoo artist, but then decided in 2 months that I was gonna move there and finish school. I went there, and then that turned out to be like the best thing that I've almost ever done for myself. And then it's ironic to me that I had to take a chance to move to Boise, and then I had to also take another chance to leave Boise and then go work for Ian. And I don't even know. I mean,
how do you feel about that kind of split moment decision you made?
Oh, I'm in love with it. I don't know. I've like been able to live, like, to really feel like I'm able to live and just fucking send it. Like, just try, go for it, like, because I didn't know it was gonna happen. Neither does Ian or you guys or anything, like what the next day can bring. And you just gotta chase that. You gotta believe in that. Because I think if you just believe in that, then like you'll be all right. It'll work out. You can work for that.
You're the host now, huh?
Yep, gonna play in that role for the time being.
Cool.
You're a good host.
Thanks.
So
Very
Lane,
cool.
what's going on, man?
I don't know. What do you mean?
What's new in Lane's world?
In Lane's world?
Yeah.
Lane's world.
I don't know. It's just been the same old. We just work all the time. I guess in reference to our project, it's all we do. There's lots of things to build, lots of things to edit, lots of things to just work on nonstop.
What's your day-to-day like? When you guys aren't out driving around and stuff, what are you typically doing? If you weren't out here today, what would you be doing?
I mean, you see like two sides of what we do. One side of what we do is we go out on the road and we shoot. And when we're out on the road shooting, that it looks really fun, and it is really fun, and there's all this exciting stuff. And then we come home and we spend, after one trip we could spend 6 months trying to catch up sometimes, because there's just like lots of little things, like we call it the nuts and bolts, where it's like this, you gotta build plate boxes, and you gotta find storage, and you gotta cut new plates, and they gotta make new film, and I gotta log and edit videos, and then whatever broke on the last 3 trips has to get fixed, but then we don't realize it's broken until the next trip, and then we fix it on that trip. So it's like the side work of this project is massive. And for 3 sets of hands to kind of keep up with all those little things is, it's a lot.
Definitely. So is there, you guys have been traveling quite a bit lately. Is there like a favorite moment you've had? Something, or even just like kind of a moment where you sit back and reflect and you're just like, this is awesome.
I mean, I think every trip we go on is like our favorite moment. Like every trip kind of replaces the last one. And, and you say, wow, this is like the best moment I've ever had in my life. I don't know, I think every moment becomes my favorite moment as it comes in.
This opportunity, I'm getting to learn and do things that I could never do on my own, necessarily. And that is like the greatest gift from it.
I think the most challenging thing is our own ideas and our own ambition, because like you put Ian and I together, and then we start like one idea turns into another idea and another idea and another idea, and before you know it we have like this crazy grand scheme in our minds of all these things that are going to happen. And at the end of the day, like you still have to like go home and log that footage, or they still have to go home and make plate boxes just to store the images that we're capturing.
What's your ultimate plan with all these plates that you're creating?
Well, I want to show them, of course, and in my heart I'd love for them to end up in museums and for people to enjoy for forever, And so that's what I'm working on. And I just signed with the Fahey Klein Gallery in Los Angeles, and they've been really good working with me and just helping me straighten out my photography as a business. And that's been a good step.
Dude, it's me, Ian, and Lane still. holding it down.
Yeah, I'm rolling.
Your lens is looking pretty good.
Is it pretty wet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting pretty wet.
Framed. Wet. Plate.
I have a wipe in my truck if you'd like it.
What's it like, dude? What's a normal day in your life?
Normal days, I wake up, and go over to Ian's house, kind of make a couple lists. A lot of organizing, a lot of talking, a lot of planning, a lot of thinking, and a lot of concepting, really, because it takes so much time to get ready and to shoot and to be everything. Like, to get that all squared away, it's like you really have to have like a clear head about what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go.
We want it now. We want everything. We want to just do the biggest possible projects, and we have like folders full of ideas like set aside that we're gonna do this one day, but oh, you know what? That's gonna cost $300,000. So like maybe let's wait on that.
What do you plan on seeing yourself doing over the next year, over the next 5 years? Is that
5 years is pretty far out for me to visualize, but in the next year, I mean, like once again, I really want to go to Detroit, and we'll see if I can make that happen, but that's the big one. That would be, for 2014, that'd be a really good goal, to do Detroit and be there for 6 weeks to two months and really dig in and get a good story out of it and good photos. I don't want to just show up, take something from them and then leave. I want to go there and contribute something to Detroit and give people a voice. I mean, that's what that camera gave me, is a voice, so it gives other people a voice, and I want to give them something in return, and I want to be part of their community and not just come in and take and then leave.
I don't really know, just like developing like my own voice too within working within all of this, because I mean, more than anything, Silver and Light and Ian, and the whole idea of this is to follow your dreams and to make them happen, and photography and art come in all these different facets, and it's only also given me like push and drive to excel in my own personal work. So I've been taking lots of photographs, and I make wheat paste, so it's kind of street arty, kind of like pop culture kind of style, but still a little flavor of fine art, because I can't get totally mad at it. I went to art school.
trying to figure out the logistics of everything? With that much planning and that much time in advance that you guys are working towards, how often do things go according to plan? I mean, is it relatively flawless with that amount of planning, or is it still kind of like, holy cow, what's going on? What are we doing?
Well, things never go according to plan, ever. But without the planning, what we do wouldn't be possible. If you've taken care of the first 10 things before you go on the trip, then the next 10 things are much more manageable. I'm just happy it's raining because Willie's getting a shower.
Yeah, first one in months. Sex, dude.
So what's it been like getting to know Ian on pretty close levels? Like, what's he like to work with?
He's really awesome to work with. He's a really hard worker, and he's like trying to really instill that in me. So he like has a lot of high expectations for me. But I mean, as someone like learning a craft from someone, that's really the most valuable type of person to really learn from, because he's hard on me. But I deserve that, because what we do is hard and it needs to be done right. Because I mean, everything matters down even to like 10 grams of a difference when you're mixing our film and dealing with that. And more than a boss, he's my friend, you know? And I feel really lucky to be able to work with my friends.
What exactly is it that keeps you going towards your project? I mean, it's a huge commitment, and it's not doing a 9-to-5. It's not working just a standard job. What kind of keeps you going? Like, what makes you have the confidence to proceed?
You know, for me, personally, the reason that I want to do this and the reason that I put so much time and energy into this is I want to just be able to do the things that I want to do when I want to do them. You know, like I want to work on the projects that I want to work on and when I want to work on them, you know. And then I found really like-minded people in Ian and Willie. Like, I don't know, like I think we want to be our own bosses. Maybe it's just that American dream thing.
I mean, my voice is just, it goes back to, I've talked about this before, is how I grew up, and I wasn't very good at reading and writing. When I found photography, it allowed me to speak through these images. And now that we integrated the film aspect of our stuff. We set a stage where they can actually speak and be heard, and these aren't people that the news or press, they're reaching out and they want to hear these. These are everyday people, and they count too, and I really pride myself on finding those people and telling their stories.
The more you believe in yourself and the more that you just keep trying as hard as you can to convince yourself that you're capable of doing whatever it is you've set out on, the better chance you have at doing it, because there's so many days when you could just wake up and be like, you know what, I'm done with this. Like I could take all these skills I have and get any number of jobs, and it would be a lot less stressful, and I wouldn't be worrying about like my own what do you call that? Like I just wouldn't be I wouldn't be worried about like paying rent and eating food every single month if I just had a regular job. But I don't know, if you believe in yourself and you have that faith that you can see it through to the other side, then it'll get you past those hard moments.
The biggest lesson I've learned is just to have faith, and you got to believe. And there was a lot of days when we all wanted to quit, Lane, Willie, and we were just like, this is too much. It looks like there's no hope in sight. But to get up every day and just push forward and just believe that, there's something around the corner, and that's what I've really learned, is just to have faith and be patient. I want to do San Francisco too. San Francisco, because it's pretty close to here, and that's where Edward Muybridge and Carlton Watkins, and that's where they started with wet plate in the early 1900s, late 1800s, tongue twister. But I mean, that's where they started, so it's really relevant for me to go back to where they were and start from there.
What can people do to help out?
I don't know. The thing that people have done the most to help out is just to support us and follow us. And there's been a lot of days when it's been pretty hard, and people just send a nice email, and then we're like, cool, like, thank you. And they're like, we believe in you. And then, it's like, I can't let this person down, so I got to keep going. And they're counting on me in some way to make it, and because they're rooting for me, so I'm gonna not let them down. So yeah.
Well, I mean, it's always a pleasure to see you, and we're glad that we can drop through Tahoe and kind of meet up with you. Look forward to talking with you again.
Yeah.
Maybe, hopefully, a little bit less than a year and a half from now. So.
Yeah, come back by in the summer. It's really nice.
Definitely.
Maybe we can shoot more or do something like that.
That'd be great. Cool.
So, yeah.
So,
So like, are we saying it together? Is that what you mean? Like, and we've been framed, we all say that together, or are you saying something different?
yeah, I don't know. It's always a toss-up with multiple people.
Okay, go for it, Lane.
Well, you're Ian Reuter, though. I can't say
Hi,
I'm Ian Reuter.
I'm Lane Power, and I've been framed. Because he never is on camera. How do you like that?
You're the one that likes to hear yourself on camera.
I do. Set up one in the bathroom. Is that good?
That was great. What about you, Will?
I've been framed for a couple things.
Hi, I'm Ian Reuter.
And I'm Lane Power.
I'm Will Eichelberger.
And we've been framed.
Yeah.
Yeah.